There are moments in history when people don't realize they're being shaped, not all at once, not loudly, not with some dramatic announcement. It happens slowly, through pressure, through fear, through noise, through distraction, through survival, through the constant weight of trying to keep up, while something inside you keeps asking, who is actually leading me? Because the world is loud right now, loud with opinions, loud with panic, loud with uncertainty, loud with comparison, loud with temptation, loud with voices fighting for your attention, your emotions, your agreement, your identity. And if you are not careful, you can wake up one day and realize you have been living under the influence of everything around you, except the conviction inside you. That is where this series begins. Not with blame, not with victimhood, not with excuses. We are not here to point at the world and surrender our responsibility. We are here to name the pressure, refuse the excuse, own the response, and make the move. This is the Sovereignty series, a call to take back authority over your mind, your time, your habits, your standards, your faith, your appetite, your attention, your response, and your direction. Because the world can get louder, the pressure can get heavier, the fear can get closer, the distractions can get sharper, but none of it gets to lead you unless you hand it the crown. So before this series goes any further, ask yourself one question. What have I allowed to sit on the throne of my life that was never qualified to rule me? This is the Eminence Legacy podcast. I'm Jose Luis Cadena, and this is the Sovereignty series. Stop letting the world lead you. Let's get something clear. This is not going to be a season where we blame the world. We're not doing that. We are not blaming the economy. We are not blaming the algorithm. We are not blaming social media. We are not blaming the government. We are not blaming your family. And we are not blaming the pressure. We are not blaming the noise. We are not blaming the fact that life got heavy. Because blaming might explain what happened, but it will never build what's next. So yes, the world is loud. Yes, people are tired. Yes, we could find the reason for something. And yes, money feels tighter. Yes, trust feels lower. And yes, distractions is everywhere. Yes, people are overwhelmed. I get you. I feel the same way. Yes, the pressure is real. It's not make-believe. We feel it every day. But here's the question. Who gave it permission to lead you? Who gave the noise permission to shape your thoughts? Who gave fear permission to manage your decisions? Who gave pressure permission to lower your standards? Who gave distraction permission to own your time? Who gave survival permission to become your identity? Because at some point, we have to stop acting like life took the wheel, when the truth is, we stopped holding on to it. And today, we're taking it back. Welcome back to the Eminence Legacy podcast. I'm Jose Luis Cadena. And legacy builders, this one is different. Not because we changed the mission. The mission is still the same. Truth, ownership, discipline, faith, identity, responsibility, movement. But the weight is different now. The room is different now. The pressure people are carrying is different now. And if we are going to build legacy in 1 hour, we cannot keep giving people recycled motivation for real life battles. People don't need another cute quote. They don't need another emotional high. You don't need me to be screaming in the microphone. They do not need another 30-second clip that makes them feel powerful while they keep living a powerless life. No, people need light. People need language. People need a mirror. People need a move. So this is not motivation. This is a call to wake up. And today, we start with this. Stop letting the world lead you. The problem is not that the world is noisy. The world has been noisy long before we were here. The problem is that too many people have become available to whatever is loudest, whatever trends, leads them, whatever scares them, leads them, whatever entertains them, leads them, whatever offends them, leads them, whatever distracts them, leads them, whatever promises comfort, leads them, whatever makes them feel safe for a moment, leads them, and whatever is on the news, leads them. And then they wonder why their life feels scattered. Come on. You cannot keep handing your mind to noise, your emotions to fear, your time to distractions, your standards to pressure, your future survival, and then ask why you don't feel anchored. That is not a mystery. That is math. Your life will always begin to look like what you allow to lead you. And some of you are not being led by conviction anymore. You are being led by reaction. You are being led by exhaustion. You are being led by comparison. You are being led by what might happen. You are being led by what people might think. You are being led by the version of yourself that is trying to avoid discomfort. And then you call it life. No, we don't do that. That's not life. That's drift with a schedule. Let me say this clean. Pressure is real. But pressure is not permission to abandon yourself. Fear is real. But fear is not permission to stop moving. Distraction is real. But distraction is not permission to lose your mind. Money pressure is real. But money pressure is not permission to become a machine with a heartbeat. The world is heavy. But the heaviness is not permission to live without a standard. At some point, you have to decide, am I going to be led by what is happening around me? Or by what is being built inside of me? Because if everything around you gets to lead you, then nothing inside you gets developed. And that is where people lose themselves. Not because they are weak, because they never chose what would have authority over their life. The first move is simple. Let's name the pressure, but refuse the excuse. There's a difference. Naming the pressure is honesty. Using the pressure as an excuse is surrender. Naming the pressure says, yes, this is real. Using the pressure as an excuse says, so now I don't have to be responsible. That is where we draw the line. Yes, your environment matters. Yes, your circumstances matter. Yes, what happened to you matters. And yes, the pressure you are under matters. But the responsibility begins when you stop letting what matters become the thing that masters you. That's the shift. That's what we need to work on. Change the pattern, interrupt it. Because some people want language for their pain, but they do not want responsibility for their response. They want to be understood, but not challenged. They want someone to acknowledge the weight, but not ask them what they are going to do with it. Not here. On this podcast, we don't do that. We will name the weight. We will respect the weight. We will not pretend it's easy, because it's not. But we are not going to worship the weight. We are not going to build an altar to excuses. We are not going to create victims with better vocabulary. Legacy builders do not deny battle. They decide who they become inside of it. Now let me stop you right there. Some of you have gotten too comfortable explaining why you are not moving or why you're going through what you're going. You got a good explanation, a real explanation, a believable explanation, a painful explanation. And maybe it's true. I'm not taking that away from you. But the truth without movement can become another hiding place. You can tell the truth about what hurts you and still use the truth to avoid what's required of you. You can tell the truth about the pressure and still use the pressure to justify to lower your standards. You can tell the truth about being tired and still use tiredness to negotiate with your future. So here's the question. Are you using truth to heal? Or are you using truth to hide? Because those are not the same thing. And if nobody has challenged you on that lately, let this episode do that. Listen, I know where you're at. I've been there. Hell, I'm there sometimes on the daily. But what leads you shapes you. That is not motivational. That is reality. If fear leads you, your decision will shrink. If anger leads you, your judgment will blur. If distraction leads you, your depth will disappear. If comparison leads you, your gratitude will bleed out. If pressure leads you, your standard will get cheaper and cheaper. If survival leads you, your purpose will start feeling optional. Remember, when you're surviving, nothing grows there. And if comfort leads you, your calling will keep getting postponed. So the question is not, is life hard? We all know this. Of course life is hard. I'm not taking that away from you. The question is, what is leading you while life is hard? Because hard seasons expose leadership. They expose what you trust. They expose what you run to. They expose what you avoid. They expose what you really believe. They expose whether your standard was real or just something you said when life was lighter. That is why pressure matters. Pressure does not just reveal pain. Pressure reveals who has authority. So let's make this personal. What has been leading you lately? Not what do you say leads you. Not what sounds good. Not what you post. Not what you believe is theory. What has actually been leading you? Has it been fear leading you? Has it been the news leading you? Has the feed been leading you on your social? Has other people's opinions been leading you? Has your money pressure been leading you? Has exhaustion been leading you? Has resentment been leading you? Has the need to be liked been leading you? Has your past been leading you? Has your appetite been leading you? Has your insecurity been leading you? Has comparison been leading you? Because whatever keeps getting your yes, that's what's leading you. Whatever keeps getting your attention is leading you. Whatever keeps making your decisions for you is leading you. And if you do not like where your life is drifting or where your life is at, you have to check what you keep allowing to lead. Now listen to me carefully. Ownership does not mean pretending nothing is wrong. That's fake toughness. And here we do not believe in fake it till you make it. We need to figure out a way to step into our greatness. That's not what we're doing. Ownership does not mean denying pain. Ownership does not mean acting like pressure isn't real. Ownership does not mean ignoring injustice, hardship, exhaustion, fear, family responsibility, bills, loss, grief, or uncertainty. No. Ownership means I will not let what is real become my ruler. That's a difference. It means I may be under pressure, but pressure will not get the final word. I may be afraid, but fear will not be my compass. I may be tired, but tired will not become my identity. I may be surrounded by noise, but noise will not own my mind. I may be carrying responsibility, but responsibility will not become an excuse to abandon my purpose. That is ownership, not denial, direction. And some of you need direction again, not because you lack potential, but because you have let too many things have authority over your life. Here's what people miss. The world does not have to destroy you. If it can keep you distracted, it does not have to defeat you. If it can keep you reacting, it does not have to stop your purpose. If it can keep you busy with everything else, it does not have to kill your dreams. If it can keep you to exhaustion to build it, it does not have to take your faith. If it can keep you too loud inside to hear conviction, it does not have to break your discipline. If it can slowly train your appetite to prefer escape over growth. That is why this matters, because not every battle looks like an obvious attack. Sometimes the battles looks like a harmless distraction, another scroll, another delay, another excuse, another avoidance, another night avoiding the thing you said mattered, another week reacting to everything except your responsibility, another month being led by what was loud, while what was important waited in silence. And then one day, you look up, and the world didn't steal your life. You gave it in pieces, a little bit at a time. See, Scripture says to be transformed by renewal of the mind, not the reacting of your mind, not the exhaustion of your mind, not scrolling of your mind, not the numbing of your mind, the renewing of your mind. That matters, because what leads your mind eventually leads your life. And some of you have been praying for direction while feeding confusion, praying for peace while feeding the noise, praying for discipline while feeding appetite, praying for clarity while refusing stillness. And I'm not saying that to condemn you. I'm saying it because you cannot keep asking God to lead you when you're being the wrong person, while giving every other voice equal access to your obedience. You cannot keep giving the world the first word and expect your spirit to have the final say. At some point, you have to guard the gate. Your eyes, your ears, your time, your conversations, your habits, your inputs, your agreements. Because what you keep letting in will eventually try to lead. And what keeps leading will eventually shape who you become. And who you become will eventually become your life. So what do? We don't complain. We do not hide. We don't pretend the pressure isn't real. Hell, we feel it every day. We lead ourselves inside the pressure. Here's the move. Identify the loudest voice in your life right now. What has been the loudest? Has it been fear? Money? Comparison? Distraction? Anger? Exhaustion? Other people's opinion? Your own insecurities? Let's name it. Put a name to it. Because you cannot take authority over what you refuse to identify. Ask what that voice has been making you do. Has it made you delay, shrink, spend, scroll, avoid, overwork, isolate, react, compromise? See, those questions matter. Because the proof of leadership is not volume. It is influence. Whatever keeps influence your choices has been leading you. Choose one standard that does not get negotiated this week. Not 10. One. One standard. That's all we're asking for here. One line. One decision. One practice. One boundary. One action. One thing that proves pressure does not own me. Maybe it's your morning. Maybe it's your phone. Maybe it's your workout. Maybe it's your prayer life. Maybe it's your spending. Maybe it's your word. Maybe it's a conversation you keep delaying. But choose one standard and hold it. Not because life is easy. Because you are done being led by everything that touches your emotions. And I'm not saying this from a distance. For me, one standard I'm committing to in this season is this. I will not let noise get first access to my mind. Not the phone, not the feed, not the pressure, not everybody else's urgencies. Before I let the world speak into me, I need to get anchored first. Because I cannot lead people into clarity while letting noise lead me in private. And that is not just for me. That is the challenge for every legacy builder listening. What gets first access to you often gets the first vote inside of you. So be careful. What you let speak before your spirit is anchored. Now here's your first 24-hour pressure test. Not next month. Not when life calms down. Not when you feel inspired or motivated. In the next 24 hours, I need you to identify one thing that has been leading you without your permission and interrupt it. One act, one habit, one conversation, one excuse, one pattern, one escape, one voice you keep giving too much authority to. You do not need to fix your whole life in one day. But you do need to prove to yourself that the wheel is not gone. Delete that app. Set that boundary. Turn the phone off for 1 hour. Have that conversation. Take a walk. Open the Bible. Write a plan. Go train. Pay attention to what keeps pulling you away from who you said you were becoming. And take one piece of authority back. That is the assignment. One move. 24 hours. No announcements. No performance. Just proof. Because legacy builders do not wait for a new season to feel different. They mark the beginning with an action. Legacy builder, this is your checkpoint. What has been leading you? What has been shaping your decision? What has been lowering your standards? What has been stealing your attention? What has been making your future wait? And where do you need to take the wheel back? Hey, don't overcomplicate it. Take one area back this week. 1. Your attention, your routine, your body, your money, your voice, your faith, your discipline, your peace, your response. Because legacy is not built by people who wait for the world to calm down. Legacy is built by people who learn how to lead themselves while the world is loud. Before we close, if this episode found you in the middle of pressure, don't just nod and disappear. If you're listening to this on a web browser or a link that maybe someone texted you, don't let this be a temporary visit. Hit follow right now on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. See, legacy builders do not just visit truth, they stay connected to it. And if this message made you think of someone who has been letting life lead them instead of leading their life, send it to them. No long explanation. Just send it and say, listen to this one. And Thursdays, lock in with Midnight Questions. Core episodes wake the room up, but Midnight Questions help you sit with what the noise has been covering. Different rhythm, same truth. Don't miss it. Let's lock this in. We're not blaming the world. We are naming the pressure. We are refusing the excuse. We are owning the response. And we are making the move. Pressure is real. But pressure is not permission to abandon yourself. Fear is real. But fear is not permission to stop moving. Noise is real. But noise is not permission to lose your mind. The world may be loud. And it will stay loud. But it does not get to lead you unless you hand it authority. So take it back. Your mind, your time, your standards, your response, your distraction, your direction, your life. Take it back. There are things we are going to deal with in this season that people have been avoiding for too long. Not surface things. Not recycle motivation. Not cute phrases with a weight. We're going after the voices, patterns, pressures, habits, and agreements that have been quietly leading people away from who they were called to become. I'm not giving you the whole map tonight, but I will tell you this. We're going to deal with the things people keep letting lead them in silence. The noise, the fear, the appetite, the insecurity, the pressure, the performance, the escapes, and the hidden agreements we keep making with versions of ourselves we were supposed to outgrow a long time ago. So do not skip this season, because if you keep missing the mirror, you will keep managing the consequences. The standard is rising. The message is sharper. The mirror is getting clear. And if something in you knows you have been led by too many things that were never qualified to lead you, stay close, because we are just getting started. This is the Eminence Legacy podcast. I'm Jose Luis Cadena. And remember, together, let's rise to our eminence. Catch you on the next one.